I know, that's not what I'm going for. There we go. Right. Ah! Today is a bad day for streaming for me. Alright. I think it's working now, maybe? Possibly? Maybe we can actually get this to work now. Let's see, let's see. If not, it's not a bad thing. I'm just curious. No. Okay. Don't really care. Bye bye. Alright, now. That feline. Anyway, we can worry about that after we deal with Kudopeko. Yep. Alright. Now, switch weapon. Get that over with. And be annoyed later. But I should probably heal my hearts. That song's to drain the opponent's strength. Would it be really bad if I took a catnip right now? Yeah, it would. Alright. I don't know why YouTube hates me so. It happens. Eek. Take it back. Kudopeka imitated the cries of other monsters to call in reinforcements. The fight will be a lot easier if we can stop it using its mimic voice ability. Yep, I'm trying, you know. So yeah, back to ideas. There we go. On how to improve. Pokemon and its whole concept. There are definitely ways they could implement a better animation. This one isn't the best animation, of course not, but they at least have fitting animation for whatever action they take, and it's fitted for every single monster. Meaning, it's not just limited to strange 90-degree turns and the backside of the monsters moving. It still has a decent animation, and they even have some kind of idle animation where they move their body just so it's not just as stiff as in the Pokemon games. Sure, you see more of the area they fight in, but I think that is something they could also implement into the franchise of Pokemon, and I don't see why they shouldn't or couldn't. And oh, you're a speedster? What? Ah, you're angry. You're angry. Tell me earlier. You're also angry, aren't you? I can't tell. with them being the way they are. No, go back to fighting. Move it! No, speedster. Alright. There are many ways where they could, how they could improve, and I think the best start would be to not throw out a new game every year or every 2 years, but give it some time, give the developers some time to actually think of a new idea that they really want to, oh shit, that they really want to implement, and not something like, alright, we need to get a new game out, so let's just move back in time, travel back in time. Now we're in the Shogun area of feudal Japan, and you still catch Pokemons with Pokeballs, even though Pokeballs were a newer-ish invention. Stuff like that. It's like, alright, please try to actually make sense next time. Or the remaster of the Diamond and Pearl games, I believe it was. Can't be sure. Can't be bothered to check, to fact check on that one, but the art style is cute, don't get me wrong, but it is again just a rehash of things they already did, and it's not a good one. I saw so many people complaining about the art style. It was somewhat fitting for the remake of the Zelda games, but for the Pokemon game, which already has a very simplistic art style, which again isn't a bad thing, it's just noticeable. They just try to change the art style to make it look different and, so to speak, new, even though it's not. And that is sold for $60 plus. And of course there are 2 versions of the game, because they need to make money. They need to make money. They don't have enough, no. And in that sense, it's like, alright, I get it. You did it that way since the beginning. Why change a running system? But it's nonsense. It's utter nonsense. If there were real differences between the versions they sell, okay, but there aren't. It's just the same game over and over. You just have a slight difference in the roster of the available Pokemon, and that there were 2 different gym leaders, alright, but I've never seen a Kurapeka get this worked up before. But still, it's not. It's because it's Rage Raid. At least it hasn't spread to any other monster yet. 2 different gyms, and but the gyms were still the same. They just had a different skin. And of course different monsters you had to fight, but it just had different skin. It was still the same gym.
That was a close one. Color me impressed. Waltzing around with monsters? Positively claudacious stuff.
Huh? Sarge? Sarge!
Meowdy-doo, partner.
Get you! Positively claudacious! I must be dreaming!
Took the words right out of my mouth. With your antics, I'm surprised you're still alive. Yeah.
How do you know Naviru?
Hmm? Name's Orgo.
The two of us go way back! He's my brother from another mother!
What you call you? You're going by Naviru now?
Navigating Naviru! Pretty cool, right?
Sure is.
Positively! Claudacious!
And for,
And what?
it's nothing. I mean, it's positively claudacious.
You bet it is! You bet it is!
I owe you one. Why don't you drop by my place?
Huh, so you live around here now?
Yeah, lots changed.
I haven't seen you in forever. There's so much I want to tell you. Do you mind if we swing by Sarge's house?
It's fine.
Alright, my place is just past Pomore Gardens. Whatever that is. Alright, Pomore Garden. I'm gonna continue talking after the cutscene since I'm assuming there are gonna be a few more. I don't want to go back and forth between reading what's on screen and then renting. Ah, that reminds me, I need to actually turn that back to full screen, otherwise I'm gonna go cry. You know what? I'm gonna turn it down just to maybe give you a better view. I don't know if it really improves anything, but yeah, I don't have to have 100. What? Didn't I just say full screen? That is not full screen. Borderless, sure. Huh? Cancel. Cancel. Gonna go for borderless then. Annoying. Alright. Can I just... Now I can fly again? Perfect. Yeah, well... Can explore first? I guess I can continue renting. Yo, go up, go up, go up, buddy. Thank you. You know, the difference between the two versions was extremely minimal, and I understand that you can't just force your way around and change everything, but if they started implementing new things that actually make sense and not are not like, all right, a new feature for battling, which isn't a bad thing, But the Gigantamax feature was, I don't know, it wasn't really thought through. You had Pokemon that got bigger, their attack rose for 3 rounds, and that's it. Then again, if they made it too hard, of course they could lose some of their potential buyers, especially the younger ones, which would think it's too hard, so they couldn't they can't just play it. But most, I would say, I can't say for sure, but I would say most of the people that are currently playing Pokemon are older people, still feeling nostalgic for the games they played in their youth, and giving the Pokemon Company the benefit of the doubt that they're still trying to improve and give us something new. But they obviously fail doing so, even though yeah, perfect. At least I don't have to suffer through the cutscene again. They of course try to implement something new, but the way they go at it is just wrong. Which is not the fault of Purple Ludroth. Maybe? Good. Sure. Oh, I have it with me. Perfect. Which of course isn't the fault of the developers, it's the fault of the company itself. Enforcing the rule of there having to be a game every year or every 2 years. It's just not feasible. We see it in other franchises where they pump out new games every year or every 2 years. It happened to Assassin's Creed, it happened to Call of Duty, stuff like that. They just suffered from having to release every year, or for 2 years. You know, I'm gonna just say every year just to save me some time. And the people buying those games got fewer and fewer, and it was a struggle just trying to imagine how anyone would want to buy those games, because they felt rushed and they weren't complete. They just were buggy messes of things nobody really enjoyed anymore. And then they took their time and thought about what they want to achieve with their story. Sure, they finished the story they wanted to tell, which is a good thing. Just finished that overall story arc and then went back and thought their concept through. Sure, it in the long run it really didn't make that much sense, but it was a good attempt and it felt fresh and people loved it. They went in and bought it again and again, and you see it in Zelda Breath of the Wild. It's completely different from the original series, and of course it has been a while when it had been a while since the last new Zelda title was released, so they had time to think about what image they want to they want to have and want the game to have, and also what they actually want to do with the franchise going forward. It was a bold step and it worked out. There's so many games where you can see the effort they took and the payoff they received, and that is also why I don't understand why they just can't do it. Yes, I know people are gonna say it's because they have the anime and the plushies and stuff like that also scheduled to release at the same time as the game. Then here I am bringing the radical idea to just, you know, go ahead and not do it. If the game isn't done, it's not done. Sure, it's gonna be spoilers and it's gonna mess with the whole schedule, but you don't have the anime having to fit the overall game style. It doesn't have to tell the same stories, and it doesn't. In most cases, it doesn't. So they have similar areas they travel to and travel through. They meet similar characters, sure, but you don't get the story of the game in the anime. So I don't understand the struggle, quote unquote, they have with plainly. Oh god, I forgot. Yeah, you're a power attacker. Not releasing those things at the same time. You could go ahead and, if the anime is done, release the anime and start the plushie sale at the same time as the anime. It's not something that would really ruin anything. People already go through every single teaser and stuff like that to see what's new, what's going to happen in the new games, what new Pokemon you can meet, and that way they don't have to wait for the release of the game. But for the overall stats, they still need to wait for the release because the anime is not going to tell them anything. Why would it? It wouldn't make much sense. And stuff like that. It's just think your whole concept through and change it around. Try something new and get people invested again. I saw the trailer for the new games in the Shogun area and I was like, alright, could be interesting, but then I saw the gameplay and was like, yeah, it could have been interesting, but it's not. They can't, I don't know, they can't capture my heart anymore, and I find that really, really sad actually. And I'm happy that there are so many people trying to improve in their own ways on the Pokemon formula. Just this game is also similar. You collect monsters, which is the base idea of Pokemon. It's not the whole game, but it's the base idea. You collect them and you fight with them. And that's what you also do here. And they have a story that's not just about you traversing through an island, a country, or whatever, collect 8 badges and then fight strong opponents. You explore, you try to find your rare monsters. You don't have to breed for weeks on end to find the perfect monster with the perfect genes. You just go ahead and try your luck with the eggs you get, and if it doesn't work out, well, there's always the next den and the next den, or you can always try to get better at maybe this time you actually get the one with the rainbow shine and stuff like that. It's just, they're tiny improvements, but they're improvements on the whole concept nonetheless. Sure, the fighting style is simplistic, but it works. And you can... Oh, I forgot he's angry. Change to him real quick. And it's just... it is something different, and it works out. For them and for me. No, I didn't want to heal because I thought it would protect him again. Yeah, it's just those tiny things that make a whole lot of such a huge amount of a difference. You know, it's just I just had to think about something someone asked me. When I was still going to school, I always had a book with me. Most of the time it was a fantasy book, and I talked to someone. I guess they weren't the biggest fantasy fan or something like that, I don't know. They just plainly asked me why I enjoyed fantasy so much. It's the same. It's always the same. You have the prophecy and the main character, but of course, fits the prophecy, and in some way, shape, or form, they get chosen. But of course, they don't really. No, they don't really fit in. They are not a strong knight. They're not the perfect mage. They are born into poverty or stuff like that, and they have to learn. They have to improve themselves, and you almost always have the same side characters. And I asked them, so what is the genre you always read? And I think they were fans of the mystery genre. And I was like, yeah, alright. Same to you. It's pretty much always the same. You have this murder in the beginning. And depending on the author, sure, you can already pretty much guess who the murderer is. Murder mystery, not just mystery, sorry. You can already guess who the murderer is, and why shouldn't why should that dampen your enjoyment of the story just because you can already guess where it's leading? It doesn't make any difference. As long as you enjoy the writing style, the way the whole material is presented, there is no difference. Do not click. Yeah, it's pretty much the same. Do I actually want to improve that? As long as you enjoy it, you the person that reads it, it doesn't make a difference. And I won't... That looks nice. I don't think anyone should feel bad for enjoying a certain genre. Of course not. Why should they? What are you? Are you a weapon? Are you a blonde weapon or... Yeah, you're a blonde weapon, alright. That's absolutely up to the person reading, watching, whatever. So if you enjoy the Pokemon games,
Thank you.
that is totally up to you. I enjoyed stuff. I was younger. I later regretted quite a bit. Well, I should say I consumed without much thought. That way of thinking hasn't really changed much, but I got more critical in the long run. I enjoy manga and manhwa and stuff like that. With darker undertones, but I've got some topics I just don't want to deal with, and abusive relationships are part of that. I know that's quite the jump now, but every time I come across the new manga, which I think I could maybe possibly enjoy. I'm like, alright, I'm gonna give it a try. And if it works out for me, great. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So I read the first few chapters, and if I see if the main attraction is a relationship, I give it some time to develop. And there are just so many things I just can't deal with. An overly stupid protagonist, for example. I could never finish Naruto because well, Naruto Uzumaki is just plain old stupid and way too childish for me, and I was like, alright, aren't you supposed to grow up and learn from your mistakes and not keep repeating them over and over again? And sure, the power of friendship fixes it all, but it just doesn't work for me. But yeah, again, to relationships that I can't deal with. For some reason, at the moment, there are a lot of comics that get recommended to me that have this abusive type of relationship. Stop killing my cuties. And you? Oh, you can't. Right. And I'm there thinking, alright, not gonna read that. Because I don't want to see them suffer. I don't enjoy seeing it. And the overly jealous love interest. At some point I actually thought that was a good thing. That jealousy is something you should aspire to. That you really need it in a relationship, and then it kind of turned out me being aromantic and asexual, which is a bad thing. I enjoy my life as it is, but some people try to force me into a relationship, and I was there saying, you know, I've never been in one. I can't say if it's something for me. We can try, but if I say stop, I mean it, and you have to back up. But they didn't. They kept going and going, and they. When I was there, just feeling more and more uncomfortable, and at the end, my coping mechanism was always to just start ignoring them, and that is kind of how I deal with my mangas as well. If I see an abusive relationship, I just close the tab and that's it. I'm not coming back. And I really tend to give them a lot of time to redeem themselves. I would read hundreds of chapters just so I could get a feel for the people involved in that story, but if I just see the rehash of protagonist feeling overwhelmed by whatever main lead is doing. Most of the time running away or lashing out or something like that. I'm like, alright, now maybe they can grow from that, but most of the time, because the author tries to reach a certain length, or the publisher says, alright, it's going good, so keep going, we need more content. This story arc, this story progression goes on and it repeats itself over and over again, and I'm like, alright, I think they should have probably learned the lesson that they don't work out. That sometimes people just are better off as friends. If you can't trust each other, and every time you meet your partner meets something new, you're there thinking of all the possibilities that they could, you know, betray you, then I don't think you should be in a relationship. You should get that checked out. You should get psychological help, because that is not a healthy way of dealing with a relationship. Ah, stop killing my monsties! A healthy relationship is based on trust. First and foremost, you need to be able to trust each other. That's probably why most people say you should get married or you should date your best friend. They know you, you know them, and you trust each other. You know a whole lot of stuff about each other, and of course that can be scary, but since you know them and you trust them, it's not as scary anymore, is it? You know how to be there for each other, you know how to... Am I online? YouTube just says. No. I'm just wondering because nobody's showing up. I know I shouldn't watch the zero go up. But yeah, sometimes no, it's even running somewhat smoothly, alright. Oh well. Let's just keep going. Yeah, well. Relationships based on trust. This... He ran away, I didn't pay attention! Oh, nice. Especially in media for teenagers, you see those overly protective, overly jealous boyfriends that get characterized and fetishized. Just think about what's it called in English? Edward Cullen Brew? I can't remember his name. Just think about the Volturi arc in the second game, right? Book. for those not initiated, not having read or watched any of the series, you haven't missed much. It's just during the second book, Edward leaves Bella, and Bella basically loses her will to live, and her best friend in that area tries to motivate her, and that's how she figures out how she can pretty much meet Edward again. Edward being the vampire dude that she's in love with. Well, not meet, but have a vision of him telling her to stop is when she is in danger, or endangering herself knowingly, and then she has a vision of Edward scolding her for endangering herself, which of course isn't a bad thing. It's just, well, it is it is a bad thing to pretty much get yourself in danger, but it's not as bad as what happens when Alice, I believe her name is. Wow, names. The vampire that can see the future, and the only one whose powers work on Bella. Loses connection with her, or sees her dying or something like that, and Edward basically tries to commit suicide, and that is romanticized to no tomorrow, because of reasons that are not further explained, and I'm there thinking about all those people in a relationship where the former romantic partner than because most of the time they try to get out of that relationship, but their partner tries to stay in the relationship, and they tell them that they're going to kill themselves if the person leaves them, which is something you shouldn't force on someone else. This pressure of basically having the life of someone else in their hand. Most of the time they wouldn't go through with it, but and they just use the gullibility and naivete of their partner to their advantage. But it's just, you know, it is such a dirty trick. Your house is just up this way. Yeah, we'll go there. To basically force someone else to choose for you, just because you can't be bothered to deal with your own emotions, to really think about why they might want to leave you, why they feel the need to leave you. And I know working on yourself and trying to improve isn't easy. It never will be. You have to really go in yourself and think about what you did, what you could have done better, how you could have done it better, and how that would improve your own way of thinking and your own and maybe even the life of other people. How you could have a positive influence and impact on them. But first you need to reflect on yourself. You need to work on things, and for that it is a good thing if you have someone you can confide in, if you have someone you can talk to and who can give you feedback. If they tell you something, listen. If you have a romantic partner, talk to them. How they feel about you, what they feel that you can improve. And of course, same goes for them. You can always be honest with them and tell them if something is bothering you. You should be able to talk to your romantic partner and tell them without them immediately telling you that they want to leave you. Huh? Looks like there are no monsters at this nest. Yeah, okay. Ah, right. I jumped into a den. I was like, wasn't I going to his house? Why am I here? Yeah, well. Coming full circle again to the part of where your relationship should be based on trust. If you can't talk about the things that bother you, that you feel need to be improved, then how can you expect them to trust you? If you don't trust them, they won't trust you. It's the same with romantic feeling. If you can't love yourself, nobody will. Well, that's a bit harsh, but you know, they won't really get to know you, because you will always barricade yourself behind a wall. So you for yourself will not be loved. The version you show the world will probably get at least some love, but you just have to think about it. If you can't love yourself, how are others supposed to be able to love you? You won't be able to share your love around, so to speak. And you won't be able to really reciprocate their feelings, because you will be busy to just build your perfect facade while your inner self gets ignored, and that will eat at you. Cute. And in the long run, I guess.
Sarge, this is where you live?
That's right. As you can see, it's a shelter for felines.
Is it? It's not on.
A
Okay.
shelter?
for those who lost their homes and got nowhere else to lay their heads.
How did they lose their homes?
You saw the pit earlier, right? Our village used to be right there.
Oh.
I had no idea. I'm so sorry.
It's tough times for everyone, but I haven't lost my spirit. I got my family.
That does help.
As if losing our village wasn't enough, terrifying monsters are hanging around the pit. Some are acting real strange, like the one you saved me from.
This must be so stressful. Is there some way we can help?
Yeah, Sarge, don't be shy. Ask for anything.
Anything?
We're family, aren't we? We help each other out, especially during hard times.
Aw, thank you guys.
Let's get ready and go check out the monsters in this area.
Pardon me, Ryder, but it's true that you were talking about with Orgo. We saw a terrible monster in Bloomburst Grove. That's why we're hiding here. But our settlement is in Bloomburst Grove. Please help us. So that's why you're all gathered here, huh? Alright, fear not, my feline friends. We'll go check it right out. Protect the hideout. After Anna tells you how Red died, you decide to uncover the truth he was searching for. While investigating the light, Naviru shares a touching reunion with Orgo and offers his help when he finds out that Orgo's former village was destroyed by a pit and now his new home is threatened by monsters. My stable, and I see a whole bunch of side quests. Yay. Let me hatch my eggs down. Well, when it comes to self-love, I can't give you any tips on how to do that, but a good start is to just looking at the mirror and trying to see what you like and not focus on the things you don't like, what you would love to change. Everybody has features of themselves they want to change, but you can't always see the features that you like. What cool mist, you're gonna be pulling my paw, I'll teach you how not to. What? Oh, am I in that area? Really? Am I in the late game? And answer all questions correctly. I shall. Nice! Quizzes are awesome, right? I gotta do some final preparations. I'm ready. So, when having a cat fight with a daimyo Hemitor, which weapon doesn't allow it to counter it? Oh? Precisely, with the bow you can attack from afar without worrying about any clawful counterattacks. Okay, meow. Next one. For monsties, normal attack based what? Which of the following determines which element a monster will use when it attacks? Monster's natural element? Unfortunately, that's incorrect. Clawfully difficult question. Study up, sure. Bow. Monster's strongest element. Okay, perfect. It's not the natural element, it's the strongest. Go to the elemental stats in the Meowster. Okay. What determines it's for a rider's normal base attack? Rider's weapon element? Absolutely positively correct. The element of a raised attack depends on the weapon. Yay! Is the quest blocking in here? No. No. But yeah. Unfortunately, I couldn't do anything to help them, but you find a barrel-bound feline. I'm counting on you. I bet they'd really appreciate it if you help them out. They may give you something, okay? Thanks for hearing me out, human. I saw him high up in Pomore Garden. Please help him out. Are you my quest giver? I need a catnap right now, meow. I don't even want to lift the paw. But I wonder how my palico friends in Lucian are doing. Perhaps I should earn a living? No, that's not my quest giver. That's my quest giver. Yo, I got no intention of wasting 9 lives here. I'm a knowledge-hungry blah blah blah. See, meow, the armor set you got to show is Crimson Kurapeka, okay. Sure, you're red. I can do that. That's easy. Crimson Kurapeka. Okay. Where's the smithy? Are you the smithy? No. Where's my smithy? Hey, am I too blind for the smithy? Where's my smithing cat? There. Right? No? Yeah. Does there not exist a smithing cat? Apparently there are no smithing cats. Alright. But yeah. Just starting small, thinking about... Yeah, I know that my internet is slow, YouTube. I know, you don't have to tell me. And just trying to figure out how what you like on your body or character. It doesn't matter. Just think about things or figure out things that you think are a positive thing about yourself. I, for one, actually like my voice. At the beginning, when I started recording my own videos, I really hated my voice, and I was pretty much forced to listen to my voice. Not on a daily basis, but at least regularly, and I got so much feedback telling me I had a really nice voice, but that feedback came mostly from friends, so I was like, alright, they're gonna be biased, I can't really trust them, but now I'm at the point where I really do enjoy my voice, and I know it's completely different to hear your voice in your own head compared to the voice that gets projected outward. And it takes some time getting used to, but now I like it, and I guess I couldn't live without it. No, that's not true, but it just doesn't bother me as much anymore, and same with my body. I don't have the body of a supermodel, and of course I could and I should lose some weight, but most of my weight is actually thanks to an illness. I could improve on my overall fitness, but the way I look wouldn't change because I actually can't. I physically can't lose weight, at least not in the normal sense. And since it's a female problem, a female medical problem, there aren't as many people interested in trying to find something to fix it. So here I am. Especially in my younger years, not feeling confident about my body and feeling rather self-conscious, which is legit. I can understand everyone feeling self-conscious, especially in your teenage years. Yo, Jackson. Yeah, I activated the fan because it's hot. Yeah, close the door behind you, doggo. And you constantly feel like you're being watched and everyone is judging you, which makes it even harder to appreciate what you have, appreciate what you can do, and appreciate what others might see in you. But then we have the media that enforces a certain body type that you have to have, and you as the impressionable youth that you are, you feel like you have to, especially if peer pressure comes into play as well. You have to look a certain way, you have to fit into the beauty standards, and I think that is the worst part about it. You don't have to, you shouldn't, you won't be able to without suffering severe consequences, you know. This new trend on TikTok, was it the Brazilian butt lift, BBL? Where you basically take the fat out of other parts of your body and inject it into your ass and hips. So you have this really, really strange curvature, which is currently considered as beautiful. I don't understand it. If you don't like it at some point in time, you can't. Yeah, well, you can. You can get another beauty operation, but what then? Are you gonna jump onto the next bandwagon? The next beauty standard that does not fit your body type? Will you feel self-conscious every single time when you look at yourself? Of course you will. Because you did not feel confident in your own body. You felt like you were not beautiful enough. And you let society decide how you should look. You yourself are the master of your body. You yourself are the only one that should be able to decide how you want to look. And I mean really want to look. I know there are things you can't influence, like if you gain weight really easily. I am a good example for that. I'll just have to look at food and I gain weight. Even though my eating habits border on an eating disorder, with me almost eating nothing most days, and then other days I just force everything into my body, which is also not something you should do. It does not help your body really digest the food. But yeah, I have my own struggles, and I see where my problems lie and I work on them. I try to work on them as best as I can. And I will get the treatment I want, but I need to save up some money because health insurance does not cover it. The only thing that can help with my medical condition is an operation, which is considered a beauty operation by... Look, that must be the monster. Okay. It's that one! By most health insurances? Which it isn't. It doesn't look like this Mitsune is rage rate. Let's hope it stays that way. Rage rate or not, this isn't a monster to take lightly. Its bubbles look pretty, but they can cause a lot of damage. Sure. Are you speed or are you technical? We will see. Technical, nice. And wrong weapon, of course. But yeah, it's considered a beauty operation, which doesn't make sense because my body keeps on collecting more and more fat and water, a combination of the two, into my leg area and my arms, and my hips will suffer in the long run. So if you do something against it early on, you can save yourself a whole lot of trouble in the later years. But again, it is a female problem. It's the reason why you get it isn't completely... could be too much to take one on alone. What say we even the playing field a little, buddy? What? Playing field with what? Kyle, over here. Ah. So we get the partner again. Alright, well, it's just... Those two again? And they actually beat the No, it fled. Mitsune.
Handled it myself.
I want the Mitsutsume back. I want the Mitsutsume in my team. Yeah, well, you could.
Well
Could
done.
see.
Shall we follow them?
There's no need. It's not a hunt.
How nonchalant.
Don't tease me.
You again? Why are you here? I bet you're still after Ratha, aren't you? Can't you just leave us in peace?
You've got the wrong idea. This is my...
We're done here.
Wait a minute! Hey, pal. I saw you in action. You were positively claudacious.
As usual, nothing escapes your attention, Orgo.
It's been a while, Tsukino.
What? You know each other?
Sure do. To what do we owe this pleasure?
Came on a hunch. I had a bad feeling, and I was right. The village has been destroyed. Of course, I didn't expect to run into you here.
But hey, the invisible bonds of fate brought old friends back together. And that's just peachy, don't you think?
Can't shake each other off no matter how hard we try.
Don't act so cold. That old trick won't work on me. Come on by my house for a chat.
For a chat? What about?
About how all you claudacious folk can solve our monster problems once and for all.
Sarge!
You want us to go on a cooperative mission?
Oh, come on, right then. I want to talk to you about something, so meet me at the shelter. Got it? Alright. I can't fly again. Okay. Can I go after the Mitsutsume? I want it in my team. Yeah, well, since it's a female problem, a female only problem, and has something to do with hormones, even though, as I said, the reason isn't explored enough to be sure. Nobody really cares about finding a solution on how to fix it. And lazy old white man leads the health insurance here in Germany. Hey, our expedition fund is right. Yeah, that's fine. And of course, they are not interested in female-oriented things. I already tried to find the health insurance that fits my needs the best, that actually try to implement the female customers as well, but it's just so frustrating that just because you are born a specific gender, you get treated like a lesser being, less important. And now I'm getting negative, I'm so sorry, but it just frustrates me to no end. We are all human beings. We should all be treated equal, and the Constitution says so, but the people that ruled for way too long were all male. Sure, most of the time they had a female partner in the background that may or may not have their fingers also in the political affairs, but because they couldn't change as much as they might have needed to, it still didn't change anything for the female population. And it's only a recent move that females in general try to actually be treated the way they should. Sure, there are differences in our bodies and what our bodies are capable of, but just thinking of how in the long run we are all working towards the same goal, making money and making our life easier. For each other, and I guess surviving is also part of that equation. And then just because you're born into one gender, your opportunities suddenly decrease. You have less chances to be selected. You have still get treated like a lesser being. Just thinking about, let's take school for example. As an example, because there's still teachers out there. Okay, gonna block my door, that's fine. That think it's legitimate to just force their biases onto their students, like for example, girls can't do maths. It is still in their heads, and because they think it, the female population of their class does get the feedback, alright, I suck, I can't do this, I can't figure out the equation, and they lose interest in the topic. They lose interest in the specific classes, and that way you lose potential future employees for companies that might have taken them, or jobs that might have actually suited them, but because they didn't get the positive enforcement they needed in the beginning stages of their life, or Jackson, they totally lost interest in these topics. And just... Nah, I don't know. I just have to think about my French classes. In one of my earlier years learning French, we had one teacher. She was young, pretty much fresh out of fresh from university.
Thank you for helping me out back there. Really appreciate it. By the way, why's everybody acting so tense? We're all in this together, right?
Listen, Sarge, I'm all for helping you get rid of big, bad monsters. But it might be impossible to team up with these guys.
I thought you were all well acquainted.
If only it were that simple.
I think it's a good idea to join forces.
Huh?
Why, pray tell?
I want to help those in need, whether it's felines or humans. Besides, it may bring us closer to discovering the truth.
In short, you can help Orgo and the felines, while also approaching your own objective?
Why not? Hunters excel at tracking monsters, while riders are known for greater mobility. Your abilities complement one another. Together, we'll be more efficient.
I see. That is rather persuasive.
Hold on. Are you saying you don't mind teaming up with riders who keep a cursed Rathalos as their friend?
Don't jump to conclusions. Is it a harmful power? We don't know that yet.
Oh,
What are you going on about?
this strange light. It gives monsters terrible power and makes them wreak havoc to everything in their path. It won't end with the destruction of just one village.
Is that true?
Ratha doesn't have that power, though.
I don't doubt it. Our village was destroyed long before you guys turned up. Looks to me you're not to blame. Why don't we settle it with a good old cat fight? Whoever has the most claudacious paw punch wins.
Sarge, that's how felines settle matters, not humans.
I can dig it. But, for what it's worth, I'd welcome all the help I can get.
If it's for you, Sarge, I can put up with them for a while.
What do you say, Kyle?
If you're willing to do it, I'll tag along.
Thank you, Kyle. I'll owe you for this.
I'll help, but there's one condition. If I see that Rathalos get up to any funny business at all, I'm gonna put an end to this.
Feel free to do so. Let me get right down to it. I want your help with the monster that's been seen down by Chlora Closet? What? Piece of cake? Just point us in the right direction. A complicated compromise. Wow. Many felines have lost their home because of the pits. Orgo asks you to go investigate the one that destroyed his village. During your investigation, Kyle and Tsukino turn up. Unaware of the tension between your two parties, Orgo insists you all work together. Kyle is now your buddy, if you say so. Do I have anything for you? Oh yeah, I do. Yeah, what I was about to say. One of my first French teachers, as I said, fresh out of school, and it's not really a biased story, but it's about how motivation influences your whole enjoyment of something. So she started every lesson with a short dance, so to speak. I don't know how much French you know, but à droite and à gauche means right and left respectively. À droite is right, à gauche is left. So we had this dance at the beginning of every single lesson, where we danced for a few minutes, pointing our fingers right and left while saying à droite, à gauche, à droite, à gauche, à droite, à gauche, and I felt so stupid doing so. Let's watch the cutscene.
I sense a monster in the vicinity.
All right, let's split up and find him.
No, you guys hang back. I'm the hunter here. Let me do my job.
Hey, who put you in charge?
Simmer down. I know what it is. It's easy to get angry when you're hungry.
Honestly,
Am I wrong?
Sarge?
Kyle!
Look out!
Sarge! Why
Pikachu's bag.
What'd you just do?
Sarge? It's been a crazy ride for me too.
Hang in there, Sarge. We'll get you patched up in no time. Let us take the things from here. Focus on the task at hand. We've got Lagiacrus to deal with. Concentrate on saving your own hide. You'll be no good to anybody if you let it shock you into submission. Okay, so this beautiful, beautiful short dance. Every single time. And I felt stupid. I felt like she was treating me like a little child. And being 12 or 13 at the time, you can guess how that worked out. You know how at that time you feel like you're already so mature and want to be treated like an adult, even though you're definitely not an adult yet in your way to choose your actions or reactions to certain things. You're angry. I seriously can't tell with your whole demeanor. So I started losing interest in French, and I'm actually someone who enjoys learning new languages, but that was the point where I felt so absolutely frustrated that the teacher I was supposed to learn from and listen to, Sarge, buddy, I'm begging you, you gotta win with this. I was supposed to trust and listen to. treated me like a little child. Treated me like I didn't know better. And sure, I didn't. And here it comes. Its electric charge is concentrated in one part of its body. Yeah, in which one though? Is it a different form? We had power, we had speed, so I guess. The breath? Yes, alright. You know, I just couldn't believe it, and I already felt like whatever was going on in school was pretty useless at the time. We learned so much stuff that had no impact on my overall life whatsoever, which we were still supposed to know and be able to repeat, I guess. But here I was, 12 years old, getting forced to dance to the right and to the left. Every single time. And in the end, I just stopped. I stopped learning the vocabularies. I stopped trying to remember, trying to really get into the language. And are you done? Alright. I ended up dropping French as soon as I could. I don't regret it. I probably never will. It is not a language that really suits me. I love that I can still understand most of it. The understanding part never left me. But still, it's just how much impact one single person can have on your development, on your future, so to speak. And what little they have to actually do to impact your life. It can be such a tiny little thing that, like a little dance at the beginning of every French class, which led to me starting to hate French. I don't hate it anymore, but at the time I did very much so, and yeah. That actually hurt my father, who's a really big fan of the French culture, of the overall country, and I'm here saying, yeah, well, That's great for you, but it's not for me. It is not my country, so to speak. I had another teacher, a German teacher in this case. Who she was my teacher in the later she was my German teacher in my last 2 years at school, but my Latin teacher the last 3 that I had Latin, and she hated my guts. She hated mine and my best friend's guts, and one of her lessons, a teaching assistant who had their I don't know what it's called, but they were there to basically see how teaching works and if they really fit in. Great work now! Hurry, or go needs help.
Hunting.
Search,
Hunter.
search, search! And she brought a book with her.
Hang in there, Orgo.
Sarge, you okay?
Yeah, I'm alive. You were positively claudacious, partner.
Sarge!
We must tend to his wounds.
May I?
Okay, we'll go on ahead.
I'm not going to insist you see things the way we do. But there's something you should be aware of. The situation's far worse than it seems. And it's possible that monsters are connected to the pits.
Say what?
It's your choice whether to believe it or not.
I'm a hunter. It's all I know. Everything about you people is confusing to me.
I can see that.
What's this whole idea of forming kinship with monsters? How do you control them?
It's not about control. Monsters help riders of their own will. And the bonds between monsters and riders are just like your bond with Tsukino. Everyone brings something to the table in the partnership between monsters and riders. This is no different. It's not only us suffering under these strange occurrences. Monsters are too. We're not your enemies.
Good job, Anna. We have to treat Orgo's wounds. Let's go back to the shelter for now. Naviru doesn't seem like his usual cheery self either. I'll see if he'll tell me what's wrong. He will. Ah, okay. Automatic teleportation. That's fine. Ah, that... Naviru! You actually run after me? I didn't pay attention to that. Okay, and then what do you have to say?
You're not eating your donut.
I've got this nagging feeling I'm forgetting something important.
Naviru, about that power you have.
Huh? Ah, you mean this?
It seemed like Orgo was surprised by it too.
Yeah, I got this power after venturing out into the big wide world. You want to hear about my past? It's a long story.
Of course, I'd love to hear about it.
I was a stray, without a place to call home, without a name. I ended up in a brawl. Sarge turned up and tried to intervene. I know what it is. It's easy to get angry when you're hungry, he said. That only infuriated them. We took a pretty good licking, and we were a sorry sight afterwards.
You impressed me in that fight. That was some positively claudacious stuff.
He seemed so strong, and he always protected me. That's why I call him Sarge. We had a dream. We promised to travel the world together. But things happened, and we went our separate ways. Our promise went unfulfilled. I got experimented on. I lost my memory, but I gained this power.
I can't imagine. At least you got to see your old friend again.
Yeah, and he didn't even get mad at me for breaking our promise.
That's positively claudacious.
Yeah, positively claudacious and... Wait, how'd that go again?
Is something the matter?
Well, we had this catchphrase, but I can't remember the rest of it.
The resident felines witnessed something in the garden. Please, hurry!
What did they see?
I couldn't catch it amid all the uproar. Let's get on the scene.
The felines spotted the possible monster within the Haspatal garden. Let's go check out the scene. Alright, Naviru's memories. Orgo is injured during the Lagiagros fight, forcing Naviru to use his hidden power. Unable to remember what pushed him and Orgo apart, Naviru seems troubled. A confused Kyle fails to understand the world that Anna speaks of. However, new reports bring everyone's focus back to the task at hand. Alright, let's see, where do I have to go? Back out again? I don't have any eggs, no. Huh? Map mode, I'm running it. Alright, so she brought a book with her, which we were supposed to read a few chapters of. And in this book, there's this one character which we were supposed to identify what he is supposed to represent. This is Hospital Garden. Let's investigate and see if we can figure out what the feline saw. And for me, it was pretty obvious that this character was supposed to be supposed to represent God. And I was like, alright, I'm not gonna raise my hand to answer the question. It's just too obvious, way too easy. Everyone should be able to figure that one out. Now, here we are, sitting around waiting for pretty much anyone to answer, and there were so many answers, but all of them were wrong, and I was like, huh? How in the world can you not get this? How can you not understand the reference? And that is coming from an atheist. I do not believe in God, but it's just I was baffled by the stupidity of my classmates, and so I was debating and I was discussing it with my friend. Should I raise my hand? Should I answer the question? At that point, we were stuck on that question for, I believe, 10 minutes at least. And my teacher was right behind us, so we knew the answer. But apparently, when I got around to, I finally raised my hand because I got tired of listening to my classmates' stupid answers. Stupid and wrong answers. I was like, alright, I'm gonna answer the question now so we can move on. But that was the wrong answer because my teacher actually thought we would take longer to find the correct answer, and the teaching assistant also thought we would take longer, so they didn't know what to do. And when I raised my hand, I actually looked at my teacher like, should I answer or not? So, but apparently she wasn't really paying attention to us and that we knew the answer. And so when I gave the correct answer, she looked at me in absolute shock, like, what? She can understand that? She got that? And I lost all faith in teachers at that point. I know it's not her fault, but she at that point already hated me thanks to me not being interested in Latin in the slightest. And not really paying attention, just giving the bare minimum of spending the bare minimum effort during her classes. The only thing I was good at was grammatics, grammar, yeah. Which I was the best at during her Latin classes, which should have probably given her a hint that my logic skills are pretty good. But hey, she looked at me in total shock and horror, like, what? She's completely stupid? And as I said, I lost all faith in teachers at that point. If they couldn't leave their personal feelings out of it and judge you for who you, for your potential, not for your character, your gender, but for your plain old potential, then who in the world should or could? I don't need you, Ash.
Hunting for hunters.
So yeah, it was like, alright. If teachers don't care, who will? And the answer was pretty much nobody. You yourself have to figure out what you want to do, how you want to do it, and how you want to live your own life. So basically, what I'm trying to say, don't wait for others to figure your life out. They won't. It's you who should learn what you really want. And you can take your time to figure it out. But you should try to really think about it. Take some time to... Looks like we've got to go farther. These poor felines were so panicked. Their story wasn't much help either. You yourself have to look after yourself. That is why the first thing you need to learn is loving yourself. Enjoying being yourself, being around yourself, because you have to live with yourself. You can't just take a break from your own personality. And say, alright, I've had enough. We're going home. And I'm gonna enjoy my alone time now. It's you stuck in your own body. Body, not buddy. Body. Oh, it's you again. And King of the Seas. What were you again? Were you Power? Yeah, I think you were Power. And in the long run, just having to deal with your own shortcomings, and yeah. So if you can't enjoy being around yourself, then why should anybody else? Oh, we actually came somewhat full circle. Now I have to figure out a way to force it back to Pokemon. No, I won't. Don't worry. That would be too much of a stretch, but yeah, it's just thinking logically. Oof. Looks like the auction. If you don't love yourself, that's pretty much it. I ruined my chances to get into a good university because of that. Because I was too thick-headed and too focused on what others were thinking of me, in this case my teacher, to realize that it's up to me to change it, that I have the power to prove them wrong, that I can show them what I can actually do. And for that, I pretty much just needed to improve on my schoolwork, concentrate on it, and learn as much as I can, which I didn't. Of course not. I found school unnecessary and stupid at the time. And it ruined my chance. But in the end, I still got what I wanted, and I'm currently pursuing it, so I didn't completely waste my chances, but I made it harder. Harder for myself and for the people around me. Because I couldn't swallow my ego and do something for myself. Not having people from the outside dictate on how I should do things. Oh well. Let's stop this negativity and what should I talk about? The next good question. I could go back to the graphics here in this game. They're not perfect, of course not. Just looking at the sakura flowers over there, you can see that it's a 2D image that is moved around to look as if this tree has some depth, which it doesn't. But as long as you don't really pay attention, you wouldn't notice. Yay! New act for me!
Hunting's for hunters.
Wow. That's one redundant sentence. But yeah, it's just... There are tricks you can use to improve on the look of your game. There, you can see it a bit. They're flat, but because they got they are clustered in a certain way, it looks good, at least from a certain distance away. And I understand why they had to do it, because they released this game also on Switch, and the Switch is not powerhouse console. I don't really care about frame rate, but since they had to create a game that runs smoothly on a console, a portable console at that, it just is obvious that they had to... Yeah, no, I don't. That they had to, well, use some tricks at some points, and they used them effectively. Should I try again? Heavy too. But yeah, as long as you. Oh, Jackie. As long as you try to. Wrong weapon. Go for the best solution that best suits all parties. I guess you can find a workaround. And sure, if this was a Pokemon game with the huge following that the Pokemon game has, people would have complained non-stop. I already was annoyed with the constant complaining about the look of the wild area in the newer Pokemon games. I don't really care about the optics as long as it's an enjoyable game, and people put too much emphasis on the looks of games. It's what I think at the moment. It's just you see this trend to more and more realism, and I'm feel like, alright, and whose computer is supposed to be able to play these games? Because the more realism you get into your games, the more the better computers they need to run these games. So who is the person that can really enjoy those games if not Jackie? If you don't have the equipment to really do so, there is no one left if you just keep on putting more and more emphasis on realism. I don't need it. It's great if you feel like you need it, and of course if you invest in the realism of your games, you
Could have handled it myself.
it will help improve something in the long run. Of course it will be. It will do so, but in the end, do you really need it? Do you need this hyper-realistic character that tells you what to do? Aha! Just get up. And that looks at you from the other side of the screen. A character that is not real. No? Look into our burrow. Where is your burrow? Am I too blind for your burrow? No, stop. Okay. Wow, I'm just blind. Alright. I'm straight up blind. This looks like a feline burrow. Guess we may as well take a look. travel to any corner of the world, no matter how remote, at no cost at all. That's the caravan for you. Please keep in mind it's a one-way trip. Yeah, not right now, thank you. But yeah, it's this need for hyperrealism, and then the Pokemon games were showed this vast, very empty area with the crappiest trees I've seen in a while, and I can understand why people were angry at that. Why they felt betrayed because of that, especially since Game Freak, right? Those are the makers of the Pokemon games. Oh, I can't remember. Don't really care. Oh. But yeah, they told all of us that they are focusing on improving the animation to make it more smooth, and that's also why most Pokemon got cut for the main game just to be added in later through DLC. Not all of them, I know, but most of them. And I was there like, alright. Alright.
Oh no, it's another pit. What are these?
Bubbles?
Bubbles. This must be what the felines were talking about.
It's a Mizutsune! Watch the bubbles!
Yep, I want one in my team, thank you.
It's Rage Raid. Kyle.
Alright. The monster's rage raid, be careful. Yeah, no monster is too strong for us. I'm about to show you the true meaning of the word claudacious. So yeah, I understood where they came from, especially considering the amount of money they could invest. No, we are walking in circles right now. But it's just raided. Nice. We won't stand a chance if we keep letting those bubbles sap our speed. Yeah, what am I supposed to do against it? Where are they coming from? Do tell. It's completely different than it was before. Please be careful. You're saying it's no speed. Okay. Oof. So I could totally understand why they were angry but then again I was like, alright, so what? You don't have to buy the game, and it probably would have been better if less people bought the game, but because the game got so much attention, it actually worked in its favor in this case. People wanted to see for themselves how much of a train wreck it was, so they bought it. And that is the crazy part. I know I shouldn't say anything against people having bought the game, I bought it myself, but I didn't mind the changes they implemented too much. But the people that said from the get-go that it looks bad, that they can't deal with the look the wild area has and stuff like that, I was just wondering why did they feel the need to buy a game they knew they wouldn't enjoy? What? What, except for a curiosity that they couldn't keep in check, I guess. Force them to get this game. Let's go for the legs. They had their choice and they made it, and then everybody started complaining over and over again, and I got so sick of it. Hearing nothing but complaints about a game that definitely wasn't perfect, that had its shortcomings, that could have been better in all ways, but at the same time, why waste money if you know you don't enjoy it? Just yesterday I decided to against buying a kid from one of my favorite YouTubers, because I knew I just couldn't do anything with it. Sure, I could use it as much as possible to the degree that the kit allowed me to do without the needed utensils, but I knew that I wouldn't enjoy it as much as I could if the moon's blessing is with us. Now is our chance. If I positively audacious, that's us. Told ya we could do it. Wait, Kyle, something's not right.
Come on, buddy! Time to finish this!
the land.
This isn't gonna be easy!
Just believe.
We did it, buddy! Thanks for the backup, Kyle. You're one cool cat.
There's so much I don't understand. What kind of power does Ratha really have? Why are all of these pits appearing? And who are those people who want to take Ratha for themselves? All I have are questions. But I know this. How powerful your bond with Ratha is. And how that power can stand against a strong enemy.
Kyle!
We'll keep looking into the pits. Different perspectives can't hurt. That's the way I see it.
Kyle.
Come on, let's head back.
Humans really are full of surprises. Sometimes it feels like you change in the blink of an eye. You've grown a lot too, you know, since I first met you in Mahana. You've gotten so much stronger.
You got a man, a friend of Kyle. Well, thanks for everything you did to help out me and my family. They'll be waiting for us back at the shelter, so let's go. Alright, so, what I was trying to say. I know. Humans enjoy, well, I shouldn't say enjoy, but they seem to like running head first into trouble. So when the majority of people actually said that the new Pokemon games aren't gonna be good, everyone that was in denial and wanted to see if that was really the case. When it was. Those games sucked, but there were still elements that I enjoyed. I thought the at least in the beginning, the idea to have more of a challenge type of thing going on before you fight the gym leader. The Vulu puzzle or what was the next one? Yeah, well, you could see how much effort they put in, and that much the effort that they put in decreased with every single gym. Which already is quite the sad thing. And then what I guess it was the Ash, right? Yeah. And yeah, with every gym leader, it just sucked more and more, and I was like, alright, it started so good, why couldn't they just keep up the level of decent content, I guess, but it just never happened. They just lost everything, and they lost me as a customer in that regard. Oops, I forgot that I have to close the menu. So yeah, I was like, I shall give them a chance, and the chance they had, they wasted. To be honest, I actually like that. Come on.
Anywho, about Ratha, another feline told me a real doozy of a story.
Yeah?
I don't know if it had those destructive wings, but a long time ago, there was a Rathalos with an unbelievable power. Its legend is written on a monument in some old village.
Where's the village?
Beyond the Turga volcano is what I heard. Maybe you can figure out something about Ratha there.
We gotta check this out, buddy!
There's a village called New Arte in that region. But I've heard it's even more secluded than Ruto.
We gotta go, right? It's our best bet for learning about Ratha!
True. This is no time for dithering. Let's go. Thank you for telling us, Orgo.
Time to split up, it would seem. We'll continue our investigation on the pits. We'll be sure to let you know if we procure any new intel.
Okay, got it!
Watch out for the masked riders who are after Ratha. Stay alert. Sugino, let's move out.
Yeah?
Yes, let's go. So long for now.
Why are you leaving my party? We
better
fought
get
like
going
3
too.
times together.
I can take you as far as the volcano. Give me a holler when you're ready to go.
Will do!
Alright, but I'm gonna look for Mitsutsune first. Oh, I almost forgot. If you're passing over Turga volcano, you're definitely gonna need this. You gotta use cool mist in hot places. If you run out, you can grab some more from the market in Delusion. Alright, chasing legends. What is Racewing Wrath there? What's causing the light from the pits and why? With so many unanswered questions, all Carl can believe in now is the power of kinship between Ryder and Monstie. He accepts you as a friend, and you head to a monument that depicts the Rathalos legend. Okay. Do I need anything from here? Well, I guess I can hedge my one egg. What were you again? Ladiakis. Alright. But I need your more beautiful body, buddy. Afternoon. Jump on and fly. Alright, so back to what I enjoy when it comes to no, I don't want to go. Do I want to go there? I don't know where the Mitsutsune habitat is. Mitsutsune. Um, sorry, my voice. Yeah, I actually like that. Oh, so I have to catch it first? Yeah, I only defeated the rage version of it. Alright, alright. Because of the type of story that Pokemon tends to base its games on, you being the unexpected hero of the area you currently live in, and having to protect the world from an evil organization and stuff like that. For once in the new games, it wasn't the case that you had to work against a big organization. You just were part of a bigger story, I guess. A story you didn't really have much influence on. And I actually enjoyed that you were just one tiny speck in a way bigger picture. In the end, of course, you were forced to fight against a certain a certain group of people, even though it was pretty much only the gem and his secretary, but they had enough influence to really impact the world, and you could kind of feel it. It was strange when the first Maxing monsters appeared, and you weren't asked to get rid of them. They actually were already taken care of when you got to that area, and I was like, okay, isn't that my job? Isn't that what I'm actually here for? And it was strange, but I appreciated it. That they didn't force a 10-year-old child, because you are 10 years in the Pokemon games, to rescue the world. Just thinking about it, if in this day and age people would send their children out into the world with strange creatures that make it possible to fight each other and hurt each other, and especially be able to destroy the world with them, because holy fuck, some of those attacks actually have a great impact on the overworld, if you were to use them regularly or not. There are attacks that can manipulate the time. There are attacks that throw your opponents up from kilometers high, and yeah, it's just, why would anyone in their right mind send a child or give a child that much power over anything? Are you angry now? Yeah. Somebody please explain that to me. How is it possible that anyone would trust children with cute weapons, I guess you could say they are. Nothing more, nothing less. Are you angry again? No. Are you? I can't tell. No, it's still speed. Alright. Oof, proper. And so I was like, right, this story actually makes somewhat sense. They actually thought of the consequences of using children to fight monsters. It's already strange enough that they can fight one another in battles. While being unsupervised. But just thinking about it, how a 10-year-old running around with a literal god. After all, you can catch the god of the Pokemon world that is the supposed creator of said world. How could anyone in their right mind give the okay for that? You could destroy the universe as you know it just because the wrong child got their hands on a Pokemon. Oh well. It's kind of not fun, but the thought of it all. How just because one child had access to, I don't know, Dialga, Palkia, Pokemon like those, the plane of existence just basically ceased to exist. Just because they were lucky and the ball they threw at the Pokemon. Cool. Now they have a super weapon in their hands. and nobody can even try to stop you. It reminds me of one of the most interesting but disturbing psychological experiments. There are two that are pretty interesting. One is the prisoner's dilemma. I don't know if you, well, not the, I don't think it's called, but there were two, a group of students that were split into two groups. One of them were supposed to be prisoners, the others prison guards. And they were watched, and just a few days after starting the experiment, it had to be stopped because the students in the role of the law enforcement, so the prison guards, started acting in the way they thought prison guards should act. So they pretty much got high on the authority they were given, and mistreated the group of students acting as prisoners. And same goes to the prisoner group. They had this mental image of how prisoners should act and interact with prison guards. So the hostility between those two groups grew and grew, and until at one point it actually ended in physical fights. So the experiment had to be stopped. Just think about it. Just because they were given a certain role in an experiment, they were ready to hurt their friends, their fellow students at the same university, just because they had a certain mental image of how people in that job should or will act. The other one is the first one is the Milgram experiment, I believe. I can't remember names, so if if I remember incorrectly, that's why. It's so hot, I think my whiskers are starting to cinch. Time to use that cool mist I handed you earlier. Nobody likes the smell of flaming feline. And the other experiment is about an electric chair kind of thing. I know I have the cold mist. Cool mist. Hello. Healing support. Is that support? No. Well, regardless, it was there we go. There were again two groups, but in this case actors and random people that son of a gun lands. There's a huge boulder blocking the way. I doubt even I can scratch through volcanic rock. Glad I came prepared for little hitches like this. Here, this feline barrel bomb should do the trick. Jumpin' Jaggy, that thing's powerful. Positively clodacious, or what? Feline barrel bombs can be made with Turga nitro shrooms. No more worrying about boulders getting in our way, huh? Let's be sure to get the nitro shrooms. So, the second group were people that pretty much answered newspaper announcements about a psychological experiment. They were paid to take part in it, and the thing they had to do was pretty easy actually. They had to ask the first group, so the actors, certain questions. But if they got those questions wrong, okay, I would have been correct the first time. They were supposed to increase the voltage with which the actors would be shocked, and they were two different ways of how this could go. The one where they could see the actor through one of those one-sided mirrors thingies. And I think the other one they couldn't. And in case they couldn't see the other person, they increased the voltage way more than if they, of course, could see the impact that buddy, we can blow this up with the feeling. Try and find nitrogen. Okay. The impact they had with the voltage they were choosing. So that was one thing. The other thing was if there was a person telling them, oh, you want to go outside? They actually sorry, my brain does not want to multitask today. Someone with authority like a doctor or people in a similar position could force them to increase the dosage to lethal doses. So just because someone pretty much was in was wearing certain types of clothing, people were more easily swayed to do what they were told by said person. And you think about it, yes, you should trust people. If they are experts in the field that you should be able to trust them, and you should be able to listen to them without having to worry about what kind of consequences it might have. But just because someone is standing there telling you it's fine to increase the voltage during an experiment or in real life, I guess, you shouldn't stop thinking for yourself still. We're human and we make mistakes, and there's always the possibility that the doctor or whoever that gave the order himself or herself does not know any better. So yeah, it's just baffling to me that people basically lose their common sense just because someone tells them they are in a certain position. Alright. My voice can't keep up anymore. Next catavan stand and I'll end it. Do I need even more nitro shrooms? Is that what you're telling me? Ooh, I've got one. Why can't I just quick attack? Come on, let me quick attack. Oh well, so yeah, it's just... Those are things that I find really interesting, but on the other side, I find really, really scary. That just tiny little details can influence so much that it can ruin our future, that it can lead us to do something very, very stupid. And in the end, who's the one that is going to suffer from it? It's us, the person that acted on it, not the person that suggested it. Because how would we be able to prove that they said what they said? That they suggested what to do in that case? But yeah, it's a strange feeling, don't get me wrong, but still, we as humans still have some kind of leverage over our own choices, and more often than not we are actually able to withstand these types of influences. And I guess just because it was a test setting where although now that I think about it, I'm not sure if they knew that it was a test or not. But if it was a test setting and they knew what they were getting into, of course there's a difference in how easily we can be influenced to do something specific. Because you know it's supposed to be safe. Let's say it's supposed to be, because not every test is 100% safe, and you can always still suffer the consequences of stupid actions. So yeah, it's the possibility is there, and for that we're definitely easier to be manipulated just because we are in a test setting and we trust the people that invited us to take part in said experiment. We don't have a monstie that could help us here, don't we? Is there a jumping point? Yes. But that experiment alone just shows that we should train our critical thinking skills, and we shouldn't just blindly trust anyone that comes around and tells us sweet nothings. Sorry, I need to rest my voice for a bit. I hope you don't mind. So yeah, there are many different kinds of experiments that were conducted in psychology, which is my university major. For those that do not know, that's why I am interested in that, and I know too much about it. Even though in this case I know the overall thing that happened, but I haven't really read up on it. Which is my fault, of course. I could have invested more time. But oh well. Could be worse. Let's go for the hammer. You're saying technical. Is he really speed? Isn't he power? Well, yeah. See, Monstie, I told you so. I told you so. But yeah, it's just. Ooh, at least you were focused on it. I would love to try similar experiments, but nowadays it's not possible, and it shouldn't be, of course not. It just would be so interesting how, or if at all, things changed from a couple decades ago to now. If the new media, especially the internet, had some kind of influence on how we interact and how we could react to certain authorities and yeah, these types of authority figures that not forced, but got the people in the former experiments to do that bidding, just because they mentioned what type of job they have, I guess. Which is not totally honest, but I think you get what I mean. See? Oh, that's T-Rex again. Whee. But yeah, it's baffling to some degree what humans are capable of, and on the other hand how easily they get swayed by stuff like that. So seeing as the internet already changed our way of interacting with other people, I would love to see how it changed the way people react or interact with authorities, how much they really still believe in the power of said authorities, or if at some point they just decided it's not worth it. Especially considering what amount of knowledge we take with us every single day just because we took our phone with us. At any point in time we can just unlock our phone, go to Google or whatever service you want to use, and ask a question, and in like 90%, you will get a legitimate answer. As long as you, of course, ask correctly. I had so many friends that struggled to get the answer they needed from Google just because they were incapable of using Google correctly. I don't know how they managed it, but they kept on pretty much, what should I hear now? Going for the wrong answer or misformulating, so people misunderstood and they had to click themselves through so many sites just to get the answer they were looking for, and I was there basically just typing in the question and then sending them the answer and was like, what's your problem? I don't see it. I don't have it. I don't have said problem. What is the case with you? And they looked at me like, okay, how did you manage that? That's magic. And I'm like, no. No, you just need to learn how to use Google effectively, which isn't that hard. It just, no, it doesn't even take some time getting used to, because what is there to get used to? I don't think you. Power structure. But yeah. Where was I? I forgot. Alright, let's concentrate on the fight. What's going on here? And then right on. You still angry? Ah, I'm stupid. Alright, I'm stupid. Stop doing that to my monsties. Why are you so much stronger? Now. Normally I can just press LT, RT and be done with it. Oh well. My voice is dying. Yeah, we're almost done. I am not here to keep on trying my best. Just to please you. Alright, done. Eh. Okay, I still need a catavan stand though. Would be nice. Is there any indication? No. My voice would appreciate it. To get the rest it deserves. Alright. But yeah, I forgot where I left off. Welcome to our burrow. That's perfect timing, actually. Since I wanted to save and leave, it's the feline burrow. Heal me, please. Oh yeah. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. The next 2 days, I'm not going to stream because of work, and I'll see about what I'll do on Sunday, just because I might take the day off just to save some energy, but I'll see about it. Nevertheless, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.